Hey everybody, it's me, Jet Byron, and welcome to vlog number 10. We made it, the big 1-0. I don't know if that's worth celebrating or not, I'm not sure, but we did it. 10 vlogs. What? You have 10 full episodes of me talking about me. And who wouldn't want to see that? It's funny. The vlogs are more successful than some of the games are, and I go, well, that's kind of my gauge. If the vlog's getting more views than a certain game I'm playing, I go, probably time to end that game, right? Anyway, so no news on subscribers, so zero movement on that front, which is cool, it's fine, whatever. You guys are awesome. Everyone who's watching this, who's not a subscriber, subscribe. And everyone who's watching this going, I'm not subscribing, hey, why not? It's a nice channel. I put some work into it. I upload, I try to be consistent. So on that note, I missed a few days this week. Just ton of stuff going on with work, with people, just a whole lot of new stuff going on. So, it was actually a really good week though, and here's why. First, work. All right, work's always cool. Had a great time at work. Did a lot of good things. Second though, more exciting for you guys, Cloud came out for Super Smash Brothers. So I've just been playing that. Like I'll try to play some other games. I'll play some stuff for the channel. I'll play some stuff on the Wii U because I love the Wii U so far. I'm watching a lot of new shows, but it's like watch something, play a little bit of Smash. Go play something, play a little bit more of Smash. It's always in between. It's like cuts my day up. Like it's good though, because let me tell you, if you haven't watched the episodes, they're up now. Cloud is awesome. I love him. He's my favorite character, and I was like, maybe he's gonna suck, and I'll just play him for nostalgia's sake. Nope. He is awesome. He's as awesome as he should be. Someone I was playing Smash Brothers with, I was like, he's overpowered. And she was like, that's Cloud. That's his thing. He tends to be overpowered. That's just how he is. I'm like, you're absolutely right. So, Cloud's in the game. Love it. And they're remaking Final Fantasy VII. You probably knew that already, but they're remaking Final Fantasy VII. The new trailer came out a few weeks ago. I've been stoked about that. I'm not now. I think there's this is all by design. With Cloud coming out for Smash, the new trailer, everyone's trying to kind of get the Final Fantasy VII hype train back into the station so we can take off and get that rolling. And all the Final Fantasy VII fans are excited. Like that goes without saying. But there's a whole generation who missed this game, and it was never more clear than when I was reading the comments on I think it was Reddit, or maybe it might even be YouTube. But one of the comments on the announcement of Cloud said, "Who is this guy? Why don't we have somebody from a more modern game?" And I never wanted to strangle a commenter before, but I came damn close to. Okay, so there's a whole new generation, and that brings me to the other awesome thing that happened this week. Star Wars came out, so that was a whole nother night that I missed doing anything for the channel. It was just like Star Wars. So that's another like piece of my childhood, which is funny because like Star Wars 1970s, 79, I don't know, but it's obviously not initially part of my childhood, but I love the old movies. The new movies came out when I was a kid, and then now there's a whole new generation who has no idea about Star Wars too. And I'm like, what is wrong with everybody and not knowing who the Beatles are? And that happens. So people, get out from your rocks. Stop listening to your Biebs, your J Biebs, and your One Directions and whatnot, and start listening to the Beatles. Or I should say, start watching some awesome movies, because between Star Wars and playing some awesome games. Star Wars, Final Fantasy VII, Kingdom Hearts 3 is on its way, hopefully, right? Final Fantasy 15, maybe as well, I don't know. But those are new territory. We already know these things are great. We know it. They're time-worn, but they work. And we love them. And so the new stuff is just like, you gotta take it with, okay, they're trying something new. Anyway, that's my rant on all the exciting things that are going on this week. That's it, this week. It all happened in 1 week. And I realized I got my vlog out like last week's vlog, which I did while my cousin was in town. I got out like 5 days late. So I think 2 days ago, it may have come out. I was like, oh man, vlog number 9 is gonna come out on Saturday, and then vlog 10 is gonna come out on Sunday. So I'm delaying this a day. This should come out on Monday night instead of Sunday night, so you get a little breather between my rants. So that's all gravy. All right, so what I've been doing for the channel, Axiom Verge and Smash were last week, right? So I got a lot of that done. And I got the Wii U to work and record and everything, so that all works. Awesome. So that's good to go. I think I'm done with Smash, because that's one of those games that's more fun to play than it is to watch, and I love playing it, so I can play it all day. But for you guys, I understand, I don't want to watch him kick ass's Cloud for the 5,000th time, so totally understand skipping that. But Xenoblade Chronicles X, now that game, I've been playing a little bit of that, and by a little bit I mean that's it. Smash, Xenoblade, Smash, Xenoblade, Naruto, Xenoblade, Smash, Xenoblade. So I've gotten a little bit into it. I understand the game a lot better than when I started, which I guess should go without saying, but the game has a ton of little details, and they don't walk you through any of it. Now, I have a certain feeling about this. I feel like most games nowadays hold your hand through the beginning of the game to a point where it's embarrassing. It's like, yes, I know how to hold the left trigger to aim and right trigger to shoot, or yes, I know what the fight button does on the menu. Like, take it back a notch, everybody. But Xenoblade Chronicles X proved that you can do it in the opposite direction too, where they just kind of throw you into a world and go, here's some background, here's what happened, here's why we're here, good luck. And then you've got all these notifications like, my division spoils are ready, my scout spoils are ready, you need to go find these at nighttime, and you need to go fight these with these weapons. And unless you're really into exploring the game yourself and Googling shit, it becomes a really hard game to play and really hard game to appreciate. And so there's been a lot of feedback where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going around killing monsters, and then monsters kill me, and I'm on the first area still. It's like the game is not a traditional RPG in the sense that you can, like, the world is not set up to be progressive. Does that make sense? Like, where you start, you will fight monsters, you will find monsters at a level 90 that you should run away from. And then you also find monsters at level 2 that you can kill with one hit. So the world feels real because it's not just a near the base, there's level 2 monsters, then level 3, then level 6, then level 9, then level 20. You know, it's all mixed and mashed. So you go into a new area, you're still finding level 5 monsters. And that's not a bad thing, because what ends up happening is you collect characters from different areas of the game and different skill sets, but they don't start level to where you are. So you could have a mix mash of characters at different levels. Now, that can be good and bad, because what ends up happening, at least in my case so far, is you stick with the same group because you want to progress. And you want to progress through the game. I'm not trying to rush through it, but you want to progress through the game because you want to know what happens next. So you take the same characters because they're leveled up. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, it makes the game feel real. It makes the game feel alive because you're constantly kind of in danger of running into a monster you can't handle, at least so far, for me. At the same time, you may need to use a character you've never used before, so you end up limiting your fighting potential based on the characters you don't use. So it's definitely one of those games that there's a ton of stuff to do. And the weird part is, and I don't know if there's something beyond this, but I've almost maxed out the first tree of my character, like the first class tree, and I'm like, well, you can switch between classes whenever you want, which is once again good and bad. Good in that, okay, I need to be a sniper this time because the enemies use a lot of really strong melee attacks, so you switch to your sniper. But at the same time, it's like, all right, well, then there's no dedication to one tree. There's really no reason. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's almost too open. Anyway, I digress. The point is, I've already mastered one set, so there's plenty more to do. I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface, but my character's growing way faster than the game is progressing. Does that make sense? Anyway, that was my little Xenoblade rant. I might start over for the channel. I keep saying that. I've heard no word about it yet, so it is kind of a pain in the butt to get it all set up and everything ready to go. So it's not something I want to do regularly. But if there's interest, absolutely for it, because I would love to share this game. There's been a lot of people online in general who are unsure about the game, don't know a lot about it. It is very, there's a lot of Japanese influences. It's very anime-based, animation-wise, I should say. The story itself could be anybody. I mean, it's not complex. You know, the Earth is destroyed. People go and find this new planet. They get chased by the aliens that destroyed Earth. Fuck, it could be Halo. It's Halo, essentially. It's Halo, but with Japanese characters who use swords. So, you know, it's not... I wouldn't say it's limiting in that factor. I know I have a friend who was kind of nervous about that because he'd read some reviews and watched some gameplay, and he's like, it's a lot of Japanese animation. It's very Japanese heavy. And like, I wouldn't even say that. The gameplay itself is crisp. I'm torn on the gameplay, and here's why. I like to look at RPGs on a scale of like chess and fighting game, right? Fighting game in the sense that you control every kick, punch, whatever. Chess in that you move a character in place and they do things, right? So on that level, I would say it leans more towards the chess side, in the sense that you aren't necessarily, like, there's no hitboxes, right? If you're within a certain range, your melee attacks will hit, whether or not your character is actually hitting it with a sword or spear or whatever you're using. So that has always been kind of a turnoff for me, which is why I don't play games like World of Warcraft or the old Knights of the Old Republic, games like that, because I need that hitbox. I need it to make sense to me. Like, if I'm swinging a sword at a gigantic enemy and I'm hitting its limb, I want to go up and hit its limb. I don't want to just swing and then a hit point pop up. You know, that always turns me off of a game. This game is like that. I will warn you now. It is like that. There's an element of you need to have the right position on the enemy. So if you're in front, it'll do certain damage in the sides, back, above, below. So there's that aspect to it. So there is a point to moving around, but beyond that, the moving around doesn't mean much unless you're getting into position for your melee attack or if you're staying away with your gun. So I'm really torn. I'll say that I'm really torn because that irks me. But at the same time, the customization that goes into your character and linking up with other characters is so it's excellent, because it does take a little bit of thought, and then executing takes skill. It takes timing. You have to understand your skill sets on a certain level. There's no macros, so I know a lot of WoW players would be like, oh, why don't you just set up a macro so when all these things are charged, you can just use them. There's nothing like that. I don't think, unless once again, this game's huge, so there might be a button I haven't read the tutorial on yet. But from what I understand, there's no macro. You really have to understand your skills, where they are, when to press them, and that itself is a skill. And understanding where your placement is with the enemy, what your allies are doing. But once you get that in sync, and once you understand your character's skills and the character's allies' skills and how they work, and if you can work them together, that's the rewarding piece of the battle, is getting that synchronization. Whew. Okay, that's Xenoblade Chronicles X. I like it a lot. There's certain things I don't like. That's the gist of it. I definitely recommend it to anyone who enjoyed the original Xenoblade Chronicles, which is one of my favorite games, like top-notch game, JRPG. If you like that game, you will like Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's not as story heavy. It's more combat and item management and character management based. So maybe it'll turn some people off, but I feel like most people who like the original Monolith Xenoblade Chronicles will like this game, especially if you like the combat. Okay, in terms of what I plan to do next. Now, I mentioned Cloud Strife and Final Fantasy VII. That is top of mind right now because of the new trailer and Cloud coming off for Smash. So what I'm doing now, actually currently this second, is downloading Final Fantasy VII, because I have bought it, I just never played it on the PC, and also downloading a bunch of mods to make it look halfway decent. So between those two things, we are going to start playing it on the channel. I understand that it can be slow, not slow, but you know, any RPG is gonna be rough for a Let's Play channel, because there are certain parts where it's like, this battle can take a while. You know what? I can't think of that, except for some really long optional bosses. Most of the Final Fantasy VII battles are relatively quick. I wouldn't count more than 5 minutes, maybe. Well, we're gonna find out, because I'm playing it either way. I love this game, and I can't wait to play it for the mods, and I can't wait to play it for you guys, because I know there's some of you who haven't played it, and that is a crime. If you are any sort of gamer, you can watch me play. That's fine. But if you really think it's something you want to get into, or you really think it's worth the $15 on Steam, go buy it. Tell Square Enix this game is alive and well, and go enjoy it for yourself. Even put some mods in like I'm going to, and make it relatively it dated poorly. It's aged poorly, but with the mods it looks fine. Go check it out. And watch me if you want to get a feel for it, but ultimately I can't recommend it enough. That's all I've got. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII, gonna keep up with Axiom Verge. There are a few others. 20XX, I love that game, but I imagine that you guys are probably sick of it. Just because it's like, there's not much to watch. It's just me playing a roguelike. So, 20XX, Axiom Verge, Final Fantasy. Remember Me, I want to do more of, because that was interesting. It's gonna be a long game though, so and it's also super graphic intense, so it tends to be a data eater. So every time I make those, I have to kind of strip my drive and start backing up everything. Undertale and Lisa. Undertale and Lisa. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep up with those. I'll keep up with Undertale. Lisa destroys me every time I play it. Like, I don't know what it is about that game. Like, every time I finish a session with it, I'm just like, ugh. It's like, I can't go on. I can't go on. So I maybe try. If you want to see more Lisa, let me know. Otherwise, it's gonna go on hiatus for now. I'll come back to it if you guys want me to. Go back, if you haven't watched it, go back, check it out. If it's interesting, send me a comment, write me a message, Facebook me, Twitter me, whatever. Just let me know we want more Lisa. Then I'll do more Lisa. Otherwise, it's going on hiatus for now. Strider 2. I really like that game, but it's like a lot of games I've already been playing. So if you like that game, go ahead and tell me. Otherwise, I'm gonna put that on hiatus too. Fallout 2, I want to do again because I screwed up the beginning and you guys got to see. Oh no, you missed it. Oh, that's right. That was in episode 2. Episode 2, I totally scrapped because I threw my freaking spear and I was out running around with my fists. That didn't work. All right, so I will do Fallout 2 because I really like that game. Okay, that's all I got. This is a long vlog, mostly about Xenoblade Chronicles, mostly about Final Fantasy VII. The rest of it, anyway. All right, so this is Jeff Byron signing off.